All right, good afternoon. So I'm speaking from the perspective of a business individual and from the business community and how we play a role in early childhood education. So Jen Morris, I'm Director of Client Community Relations for PNC and the PNC Foundation. So first off, who is PNC? We're a financial service provider, so we're a bank. We're in many states across the Midwest. We have a significant presence as well in the Southeast. So when you think about a financial service provider and a bank, why do they care about early childhood education? Well, first off, we have 55,000 employees at PNC. So when we think about the workforce and the people that we need to employ, it's a very knowledge-based employee. And as we think about our workforce, we have a U.S. workforce that's ill-prepared to compete. When we think about 20% of U.S. workers being unable to read at the most basic level or complete simple addition, that doesn't work out so well when you're a banker. When we think about the foundation of these skills, it becomes very apparent that early childhood education is where that foundation really comes from. Across the nation, tens of thousands of children, predominantly in underserved areas, enter kindergarten 18 months behind. So being bankers, we like to be able to do some research, and there's a lot of research in this space. So it was something that we were able to take a look at very much in a knowledge-based format. So as we think about things like the Perry Preschool Study, it shows a $16 return on every dollar invested in that space. As bankers, we like that number. That's a great ratio. A disadvantaged child with a quality early childhood education, we know that that child will be able to do more as an employee. We know that they'll be able to do more for society. So when we think about some of the impacts that we need to put dollars towards, special education, remedial job training, correctional facilities, and things that would hinder economic growth in our communities. If we have focus on early childhood education, we can help eliminate some of those issues. Today's preschoolers are also tomorrow's consumers. We want people that are able to save for retirement. We want people that are able to buy houses and have tomorrow's future consumers set up for success benefits our business. So our vision, 2004, our chairman CEO said we're a Fortune 300 company. Today we give dollars to the symphony. We give dollars to great programs, predominantly when people ask us. But what happens if we focus on one specific mission? What happens if we focus that give in one area? And that's really how we started to look at early childhood education. What came out from our employees is that they were interested in working in the communities that we serve, where we live, work, and play, right? And that they wanted to have the opportunity to be engaged. We also saw that there was the opportunity for us to have very meaningful contribution, and that from a company perspective, there weren't a lot of financial organizations that were vested in this space, not a lot of other corporations that were looking at early childhood education. So we really felt we could be a difference maker. So out of that came PNC Grow Up Great. It's a $350 million multi-year investment in early childhood education. We put behind it a number of resources. So you look at PNC leadership. We have our chairman and all of our regional presidents and senior executives that serve in important roles discussing early childhood education. We have PNC's investment behind that and our assets, which most predominantly is our employees. Each employee at PNC has 40 paid hours per year to volunteer at an approved Grow Up Great site. The other four areas that we have that kind of go underneath that umbrella that you see behind me, so that volunteerism component, advocacy. So I mentioned 55,000 employees. What happens if all of us advocate for early childhood education in all of those communities that we serve? We have grant dollars that are very specific to programs now that are early childhood education, school readiness focus. And we make sure people are aware that these things exist. Within our retail branches, when you walk in, there's childhood education displays. You see Sesame Street friends. You see people that are able to talk about the importance of literacy and how to talk about math when you're making lunch for your child. And that's a different conversation than what people are used to experiencing when they walk into a bank. So realizing that we're not early childhood education experts, we have a great advisory council The National Head Start Association is one of our key partners. They reach across the PNC footprint, an organization that's used to producing very measurable results, and just a terrific partner to us. We have the Sesame Workshop. It's a very recognizable face. It's very approachable. It's already produced bilingual, which was something we identified early on was needed for our customer base and in the areas that we serve. And then the Fred Rogers Company. Our headquarters is in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, as well as Fred Rogers. They have a lot of experience at teacher development. So as we think about sustainability of program, we think about teacher development. And they're a pioneer in addressing a lot of these children's issues, so some natural partners. I do have a video to show and share with you that gives a little bit of a background on what PNC Grow Up Great looks like in our communities.
I like words. I like to learn new words. Words tell stories about faraway places and people and animals. In school, we learn so many words. They're everywhere. There's a name for everything we do, everything we see. My teacher shows us new words all the time, so my friends and I can get smart. Sometimes volunteers come to my class and read us books. They also bring us school supplies. I love my new markers. One day, we thought we were going to the gym, but there was a big dome that looked like an igloo.
Planetarium! Planetarium!
Inside, we saw the sun and the planets. We learned the names of the stars. Every week, a scientist comes to visit us. Last week, we learned about magnets. Sometimes we even visit the Science Center. There are lots of new words in science, like camouflage. And my favorite, Stegosaurus. In school, we also learned about musical instruments and notes, and how it sounds when we play together. I even got to take my mom and dad to an orchestra. Last summer, we went to a mobile learning adventure. Inside, we played games and practiced counting. And there was a place where you can put on a costume and be anything you want. My friend wants to be a firefighter. I want to be an astronaut. Then, we got to take the cool stuff home, so my mom and dad can help me learn. I love learning new words every day. Words help me grow. Grow up great.
So this video illustrates really what our program looks like in a nutshell. And the numbers and statistics that you saw there were referenced from our 2014 video. So just to share what we've done since then, because our work never stops. We've served more than 2.3 million children through our grant making, which has totaled more than $90 million of support. Our volunteerism, it referenced, I think 34,000 employees had volunteered time. We're up to 42,000, which is 76% of our employee base. And it's 485,000 hours that have been dedicated to early childhood centers. From an awareness standpoint, 162,000 teachers have benefited from professional development through PNC Foundation grants. And that has equaled over 3 million multimedia kits being distributed that are all produced by Sesame Street in a bilingual format. So as we think about advocacy, we have the opportunity to interact with our state and government leaders in a unique way as a financial institution. And our senior leaders do come up to Washington, D.C. and interact with our state officials as well as our government officers at that time. It's a really important thing for us to do and a way for us to really discuss the business community and how it relates to early childhood education. Vocabulary has been talked about a lot today, and I love the feature of vocabulary in this video. And recognizing the importance of that in 2014, kind of that what's coming next for PNC, we have been able to make a $10 million investment in vocabulary, and that's specifically for pre-K students. The Vocabulary Initiative kicked off for us as part of our 10-year anniversary, and on October 30th, 2014, we set a Guinness World Record. We had over 4,000 children participate across PNC's footprint in a simultaneous vocabulary lesson. It resulted in professional development for our teachers. Our Head Start teachers were involved in facilitating the lesson, and it was a great way to connect our employees and the media to also raise awareness to the importance of vocabulary for early childhood education. So to wrap us up, measurement, it's important and something that we always look at because we always have a shareholder and individuals that are dedicating time that we want to be able to report to. And I think some of these numbers are really important. So Math is Everywhere was our second kit that we released with Sesame Workshop. We have some of them on display at the PNC table. 97% of parents that used those kits indicated that the program increased the amount of time that they spent on math-related activities. 90% of parents indicated some or a lot of change in the child's interest in counting and sorting and matching. So as we think about those basic entry-level mathematics expectations. So as we think about our employees and really that being one of our starts for why we're wanting to focus on this, employees and consumers, we have a strong appeal and a strong brand that we've been able to build through Grow Up Great. Our consumer base is always looking at the financial industry a little bit differently and under a microscope. 62% of our customers feel that giving money isn't enough. So seeing PNC volunteer in the community and seeing us engage with early childhood education experts and seeing us interact in that way is important. It's been proven to also garner media attention and to enhance our reputation in the community, which is very important to us. It's opened new doors. It's opened doors in a different way that I think our clients would expect. We have Head Start teachers that are going to buy cars that are saying, I need my loan from PNC and here's why. So it's really interesting to see that come together. The program impact is long-ranging. As we think about the future of the PNC Foundation, early childhood education is definitely where it's at within that program. And I'd be happy to talk with anyone afterwards at the PNC table if you're a business owner and you're thinking about what kind of impact you might be able to make with your employees and in the community. Thank you.